Welcome to CS214 Design and Analysis of Algorithms. This course provides an overview of various fundamental algorithms like dynamic programming, divide and conquer, and greedy approach used in sorting, searching, and optimization problems. The key issues in algorithms like choice of appropriate data structures, time complexity, and computability are also discussed in the course. So here on our Moodle page, you will find the class news and announcements. Please visit this section regularly because this is where I will be posting any news that we have for the course. Further down, you have the discussion forum. Please use this for discussing things with your peers. Feel free to discuss anything, for example, assignments, assignment questions, or any concerns you have about any week's content. Use this discussion forum to discuss with your friends. Right, so you can use this guide to set up Java on your system, which I will talk about more later in the course. You have the USB Netiquette Guide. This resource, it provides the golden rules or do's and don'ts of online communication. So please read this guide in your free time. Also, you have the Student Academic Integrity Regulations posted here. This is part of the handbook and calendar. Okay, let's look at the course outline for CS214. Right, semester 2 2021. For students who are doing BNS or BSE program, you are required to register as face-to-face at Lodala, even if you are doing it from elsewhere. So it's offered face-to-face at Lodala and blended for all campuses. Prerequisite for the course is CS112, so I assume all of you have done CS112. I am your course coordinator for CS214. My name is Miss Wafa Warda. So I will be teaching the course from week 1 to week 7, and then Dr. Anurag Sharma, he will be teaching this course from week 8 up till week 14. Please note down our email addresses. So in the first, the content for the first half, if you have any questions in regards to the content from week 1 to week 7, please email me directly and discuss those. Later in the semester, when Dr. Anurag is teaching week 8 to week 14, you can talk to him directly regarding the course content. How are we going to have our lectures this semester? So at least for the first 7 weeks of the course, I will be uploading weekly lecture recordings every Monday or Tuesday. And you are expected to go through these lecture recordings on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So by Friday, you should have gone through the lecture notes and the lecture recordings so that on Friday, we can have a synchronous live session. This will be conducted via Zoom or BBB, which I will confirm later. Okay, so we are having 3 lecture recordings on the Moodle weekly sections that you have to go through in your own time. Okay, preferably before Thursday, you should be done with them. Then on Friday at 10 a.m., we will have our live online session where we will discuss live, right? We can have question answer sessions. If you need any clarification on anything, we can go through those. For emergency contact, in case I am not responding or something, then you can contact Dr. MGM Khan. He is the deputy head of school. So before you go to him, make sure you have tried talking to me. And if I'm not responding, then you can send an email to Dr. MGM Khan. Please note we are not working from our office at USB in Lodala at the moment because of COVID. So you might not find us on these phone numbers, okay? So mine and Dr. Anurag, no Dr. MGM Khan, the best way to contact us is via email. The course has three learning outcomes. So on successful completion of the course, we should be able to evaluate the efficiency of algorithms. Also, we should be able to assess the suitability of different algorithms for solving a given problem. And we should be able to solve computationally difficult real-world problems using appropriate algorithmic techniques. Right, the course learning outcomes are in line with the graduate outcomes of Bachelor of Software Engineering, BSE. The graduates should be able to develop real-world software systems. And also, Bachelor of Networks and Security, BNS, the graduates should be able to design and implement secured networks to communicate locally as well as globally. Okay, furthermore, we have some USP graduate outcomes. So the USP graduate outcomes are as follows. By the end of the semester, you should develop good communication skills. So graduates will be able to communicate ideas clearly and persuasively in structured formats using language and other modes of communication that are appropriate for context, audience, and specific disciplinary conventions. Also, by the end, you should develop good creativity skills. So graduates will extend boundaries of current knowledge in a particular discipline or profession. Critical thinking and quantitative reasoning. Graduates will be able to evaluate multiple perspectives and arrive at a reasonable independent judgment based on evidence. The graduates will demonstrate a commitment to high ethical standards in scholarly, professional, and socio-cultural practices, right? So you will develop good ethics and Pacific consciousness as well. Graduates will recognize the cultural heritage and diversity of Pacific societies for sustainable development in a contemporary environment. Will also develop professionalism. Graduates will demonstrate the ability to carry out tasks to acceptable standards within their profession and occupations. Finally, as USP graduates, you will work together in a respectful and collaborative manner to complete tasks within teams to achieve an outcome. Okay, so those were the expectations of you as a USP graduate. Let's look at the content for our semester. In week 1, we will be getting introduced to the course. Week 2, we'll look at algorithms and efficiency. Analysis of algorithms, we'll look at complexity analysis. Week 3, we will look at analysis of algorithms. We will look at order and choice of data structures. Week 4, we will look at divide and conquer algorithms. Week 5, we'll look at applications of divide and conquer algorithms. Week 6, we will look at dynamic programming approach. Week 7, we will look at an optional topic, which I will talk about later in the course. Then week 8 to week 14 will be taught by Dr. Anurag Sharma, right? So he will be teaching these topics, greedy algorithms in week 8. That's after the mid-semester break. And week 9, applications and analysis of greedy algorithms. Then week 10, comparison of greedy approach and dynamic programming. Week 11 will be backtracking algorithms. Week 12 will be a comparison of dynamic programming and backtracking branch and bound algorithms. Week 13, you will look at the applications and analysis of branch and bound. Week 14, you will look at computational complexity basics and do some revision. Week 15 is your study break, and week 16 is when we will have the components of the final exam, which I will elaborate on later. Please note there is no week 17 this semester because COVID. Okay, the prescribed textbook is given here. It will be great if you can get your hands on this. Otherwise, we will provide enough notes on Moodle for you to do very well in the course. Okay, let's look at the assessment portfolio. So in this course, we are required to do 2 assignments, which total to 40% of our course. They will be 20% each, and we will have 2 tests, 2 short tests. Now, of course, these will be carried out online because of COVID, and they are going to be 10% each. And then our final exam will be made of some online components, and these will altogether make up 40% of the course. Now, I will give details on the final exam components as we progress in the semester. In order to be awarded a pass in the unit, you must achieve overall of at least 50% in the course. So your total will be out of 100, right? Your coursework, which is 60%, and the final component is 40%, altogether is out of 100. In that 100, you need to score at least 50 out of 100 to pass the course. Otherwise, you get a D or E grade if it's below 50, and it means you do not pass. Another requirement is you must achieve at least 40% in the final exam. So the final exam component is 40%. You need to score 40% of that. Right, so if the final exam component is out of 100, you need to score 40 out of 100 to pass that. If you do not comply with these criteria, you are automatically deemed to have failed the course, although you will be allowed to attempt all the assessments. For detailed regulations, please refer to the USP handbook and calendar. Now, the most important thing is plagiarism. Please do not copy materials from other sources without proper referencing and acknowledgement of the source. This is a great offense, and you will face serious consequences. You could get 0 marks for assessments that you have plagiarized in, or you could face disciplinary consequences. Important dates. Now we have assignment 1, assignment 2, online test 1, and online test 2. These are the components of the coursework. Assignment 1, it says it is due in week 3, but I will revise this. I'll let you know. I will post it on Moodle, and I will let you know in advance. Assignment 2 is due in week 10. Test 1 is taking place in week 5. This is going to be online. Test 2 is taking place in week 13, also online. Moving on, so tutorials and labs. The course has weekly labs or tutorial tasks, and you are required to answer the tutorials and attempt the labs. And then you are required to submit your solutions for the respective week via Moodle. Now, this is not assessed. What you submit will not be assessed. However, we will go through them. And when we look at risk students later on, we will use these as to back up your performance or your commitment to the course and how much you have actually worked in the labs and the tutorials. Okay, so that is how we will go about with the labs and tutorials. Every week you will find a Dropbox. You are to carry out your lab and tutorial and submit your solution in the weekly Dropbox. Of course, week 1 we do not have any, and we will start next week. If there are any changes, I will let you know beforehand. Okay, you have online help and e-learning information here. So all course materials will be made available via the course Moodle page, and you are encouraged to read through it at least once so it makes sense when you are watching the lecture recordings. You can seek help via email. You are welcome to send me an email if you have any questions, but just make sure when you do send an email, you use your student email to send me an email. Not your other services like Yahoo or Gmail or Hotmail. In your subject, make sure you write CS214 and then the topic of whatever you want to discuss. For example, you can write CS214 assignment 1 or CS214 week 2 topic, something like that. Because I teach more than one course, so I need to know in your subject what course you are talking about. In the message body, please make sure you write concisely what you need to be clarified and include your name at the end, and make sure you write politely. Okay, you have the student learning support services, the CFL specialists. They provide you with help in your assignments, time management, anything you need to do well in your courses. Okay, so make sure you make sure you reach out to them. I think the information is provided on your Moodle dashboard. So do seek help with them if you need help. We will have some at-risk students. These will be identified by the school. So based on the student marks at middle of the semester, I will help the struggling students. I'll provide some extra help sessions during the second half of the semester to help these students catch up. Okay, these sessions can include extra tutorials, workshops, peer mentoring, or some other forms of classes. Okay, so we have some expectations from you as the students, and what do I expect from you? Every week, I want you to watch the lecture recordings, read through the lecture notes, make sure you understand them, carry out the lab and the tutorial questions that we have. Make sure you upload your solution for us to go through. Make sure you prepare well for your tests, carry out your assignments well, and prepare well for your exam. Now make sure if you get stuck anywhere in the course, make sure you send me an email, or if it's in the second half, make sure you reach out to Dr. Anurag and clarify whatever you are facing difficulty in. Okay. Other than that, that is all that we have in the course outline. Let's go back to the Moodle page. Okay, next in the course overview is myself and Dr. Anurag. Information about us. We are definitely not working from the office at the moment because of COVID, so you will not reach us on these phone numbers and you will not find us in our offices. However, please do reach out to us on our email, and we will try to help you as best as we can. Okay, so first half, week 1 to week 7, contact me, and week 7 to week 14, Dr. Anurag will be teaching you, so you can contact him. Okay, let's look at the program rubric for Bachelor of Software Engineering and Bachelor of Network and Security. Okay, if you look at our core body of knowledge, we will see that we are expected to understand abstract and design at milestone level. With limited supervision, students should be able to apply modeling and designing of solutions to intermediary or less complex problems. At this level, student is expected to apply some form of creativity or innovation to design the solutions. Okay, the required information and/or aligned textbook solutions, case studies, or equivalents are commonly available in the public domain. Student is required to relate the information and apply them to the problems. This status typifies a mid-stage undergraduate student. The student should be able to apply mid-level aspects of this graduate attribute when provided with occasional guidance. Okay, for an intermediate to less complex problem, right? For unsatisfactory performance, here these will be the characteristics of your solutions, right? For in assignments, in exams, these are what you'd be showing. For example, no risk analysis and mitigation, irrelevant prototyping, requirements are not finalized, or instead of software development methodology tools such as Jira or Microsoft Visual Studio Team Foundation simple editor like Microsoft Word is used, right? So you have incorrect flowchart. So these are characteristics of unsatisfactory achievement of that attribute, design and abstraction and design. To be satisfactory in that, you will be able to carry these out. For example, analysis of requirements such as risk analysis and mitigation, prototyping, identification of true-false requirements. All of this is done well. Analysis of algorithms for its efficiency and relevance. You will have appropriate design of algorithms, like they will be efficient, structured well, all right, and you will have good data structures used. So that is satisfactory performance. To have good performance in this abstract and design, you will satisfy all the requirements. some form of creativity or innovation to architecture and design will be shown. Innovative or creative design of algorithms will be shown, right? Your algorithms will be efficient, structured well. You will be using proper data structures and so on, right? So that is what we mean by achieving milestone level of this skill, abstraction and design. Next, in our core body of knowledge requirements, so again at milestone level you're supposed to understand data and information management. So here because you are required as second year students to reach milestone level, with limited guidance, students should be able to demonstrate how data is captured. The data captured should be represented and organized in an orderly form. At this level, students should be able to understand how data is retrieved from files and databases. So this status typifies a mid-stage undergraduate student. The student should be able to apply mid-level aspects of this graduate attribute when provided with occasional guidance. So keep in mind it says occasional guidance. At this level, do not expect frequent guidance, okay? At this level, you will be given occasional guidance. So for a loosely defined problem, it will be unsatisfactory if you are not able to complete or correctly make an ERD, or you have incorrect tables, connections, and cardinalities. This is showing unsatisfactory performance at this level. Okay, if your tables in databases that you make are not normalized, if you use inappropriate tools for table design, if you have mostly incorrect SQL queries for where we do SQL, if we do them, you have incomplete or irrelevant questions for questionnaire or interview or any other form of communication with clients, if you are working on designing a software for a client. Very limited or undesirable data has been collected. Data is not stored or managed properly. You have poor or incorrect inference derived from collected data. Okay, so all those were characteristics of unsatisfactory performance at your level. What would be satisfactory? It would be satisfactory if you are able to make correct ERD diagrams. Your tables, like you are able to show a knowledge of these, right? Proper queries, able to ask the right questions, collecting the right type of data, managing and using standard tools that are used in software, drawing logical inferences from the data that you are working with. Okay, so that is satisfactory performance. It will be good if you are able to meet all of those expectations, right? That will show you are performing well at this level. Okay, you are also supposed to achieve milestone level at the graduate attribute of programming, right? So student with limited supervision should be able to solve loosely defined problems in the discipline using appropriate programming language. At this level, a prior knowledge on the use of appropriate programming knowledge and how to apply them to small domain-specific problems is essential. Right. So with occasional guidance, you should be able to apply mid-level aspects of the programming attribute. Right. It is going to be unsatisfactory if you are still plagiarizing, if you have poor indentation, hard to read code and hard to follow code, you have lots of bugs and errors, program still produces unexpected output, you don't have proper encapsulation, inheritance, or polymorphism, you don't have exception handling, you have hard coding of data, and you have poor structure of your program. That is unsatisfactory. It is going to be satisfactory if you are able to write a complex code for loosely defined problem. Also, for satisfactory performance in this, you would be able to use standard programming practices such as modularity, low coupling, high cohesion, etc., appropriate encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism to handle object-oriented programming. Your computer program produces the expected output. You use exception handling. For good performance in this, a good attainment of this graduate attribute, right, you will be able to satisfy and demonstrate all of these programming skills. Now, finally, the last graduate attribute for CS214 is systems development and acquisition. So here you need to achieve this at milestone level as well. With limited supervision, the student is expected to demonstrate the importance of involving customers during the system's development life cycle. At this level, student is expected to have a prior knowledge on how to involve users and who would be the potential users or customers for the to be developed system. Right, so you should be able to apply mid-level aspects of this graduate attribute when provided with occasional guidance. Right, so what would be unsatisfactory? Here, your system installation or update is unsuccessful, or majority or most of preferred features do not work as expected, and so on. What would be satisfactory? If you are able to ask the right questions, it would be satisfactory or good if you are able to create many required features and these work correctly. Right, so that would be satisfactory to good performance. All right, so that was the core body of knowledge attributes that you are required, and what and how you will be marked in the assessments for this course. Now, the class schedule, as I have mentioned before, we will have lecture recordings every week. There will be 3 of these posted on Moodle under the weekly section. You are supposed to, on your own, asynchronously, go through them with the notes and make sure you understand them, preferably by Thursday. And then on Friday, 10 to 11, we will have our online live session. This will be synchronous, meaning all of you will come on board and we will discuss virtually face-to-face. If there are anything that need to be clarified, you have questions to ask, or things regarding the labs or lectures, we will discuss those in that 1 hour. Here we have the guide. So I will let you know in this section how we are going to conduct this, either via Zoom or BBB. I will mention it here and also announce it in the class news and announcement. Here you will find the online print package that you can save and use offline as well. This contains all the notes that we will go through in this semester. So save it once and make sure you know where you have saved it in your computer or your phone, so you don't have to download it every time. The course assessments. Now, I have mentioned that these are the planned assessments. If there are any changes, which there might be, we will let you know beforehand. Okay, so week 1, you will find in the week 1 section, it's the introduction and review of data structures. We will do a recap of data structures in the next class. Also, you have some Java learning materials. So we will be using Java for our programming tasks this semester. And as you have seen, you will be given occasional guidance, which means we will do some introduction, but you have to learn the programming language and practice the programming on your own, because that is what's expected of you as a 200 level student. Okay, so that's it for the first session. All the best in the semester.